This is a third class on physics. Physics means I have started with mechanics, and two lectures was two lectures were on rectilinear motion, and this is third lecture. This is on curvilinear motion, means motion along a curved path. Okay, infinite number of curved paths may be there. Here this is a special case. This is a case of two-dimensional motion. You know that when a particle is thrown in the vertically upward direction, or if it is left from some height, then the motion is executed along a straight line. So that is called rectilinear motion. And here curvilinear motion means motion is not along a straight line, it is along a curved path. Say, for example, suppose this is the ground. Okay. This is the ground, and one particle is thrown in this direction. You can see the particle is thrown in this direction. So it is not vertical, it makes an angle with the ground. In case of vertical, the angle is 90 degree with the ground. In case of vertical motion, and here it is less than 90 degree. Okay, it is in between 0 and 90 degree. So suppose this angle, this represents the velocity vector. Okay, this represents the velocity vector. This angle, the velocity vector makes with the ground, suppose that angle is theta, and the initial velocity with which the particle is thrown is u. Okay, it can be proved that the path followed by the particle is a parabolic path. It is a parabola. Okay, it is a two-dimensional motion, so it is a parabola. It can be proved. In the next class, I will show you the proof of that theory, which I am saying that the path followed by the particle is a parabola. So suppose I am drawing the path. Somewhat like this. Okay, means the particle follows this path and ultimately it reaches to the ground and touches this point. Okay, say this point is denoted by B and this point is denoted by A. This point, okay, is denoted by A. So here from A to B, this horizontal distance is called a range of the particle. Okay, a range of the particle denoted by capital R. Range of the particle. And say this is the maximum height. This point is the maximum height. Since it is a parabolic path, so somewhere the height from the ground should be maximum, must be maximum. Somewhere it will be maximum. And we know that when it is maximum, the height is maximum, that means this u has two components. One component, this velocity vector can be resolved into two components. One along the horizontal direction, another along the vertical direction. So when the particle reaches the maximum height, in that case, the vertical component of the velocity must be 0. Okay. When the particle is here, when the particle is here and it reaches here, you can see that the change in coordinates occurs both along horizontal and vertical direction, right? Suppose the particle was here at this point at time t1, okay, and reaches to this point at time t2, okay, this is the direction of the motion. This is the direction of the motion. So you can see, you draw a horizontal line from here and draw a vertical line from here. You can see that there is a little change in x direction. There is a little change in x direction and there is a little change in y direction. Why little change? Because these 2 points are closer to each other. They are in close proximity to each other. So that's why I am saying that little change. Okay. So there is a horizontal movement as well as there is a vertical movement. Vertical movement means in the upward direction. You can see that there is upward direction. And when it reaches to the maximum height and thereafter the particle falls to the ground. So suppose here if you take one point at time t3, another point at time t4, this is the direction of the motion. Okay. Then if you draw a horizontal line from here, a vertical line from here, then you can see that the particle falls vertically through this height. Okay. Falls vertically through this height and moves horizontally from this point to this point. This point to this point, it moves horizontally. And here in this case, you can see that there is a rise in height. From this point to this point, there is a rise. Okay. And here, this is the maximum height. Say this maximum height is denoted by capital H. Okay. Then here at this point, vertical component of velocity must be 0. Okay. So this is the analysis. Now our task is to calculate this range, this maximum height, total time of flight. Total time of flight means the starting point is point A, end point is point B. So the time taken for the particle to reach from point A to point B is called total time of flight. In our hand, 3 equations are there. S is equal to ut plus half at square. Then v is equal to u plus at and v square is equal to u square plus 2at. These 3 equations are there in our hand. These are known. Here S is displacement, u is initial velocity, t is time, a is acceleration and v is final velocity. Okay. And when acceleration is there, means positive acceleration is there, in that case plus signs will be used. Here plus sign, plus sign, plus sign. And in case of retardation, negative sign will be used, minus sign will be used. Okay. So now our first task is to resolve this velocity component, this velocity vector into 2 components. One along this horizontally, another one along this vertically. Since this angle is theta and initial velocity is u, therefore the horizontal component of velocity is what? U cos theta. Right? U cos theta is the horizontal component of velocity and the vertical component of velocity is u sin theta. Right? So these are the components of velocity. You will see that this horizontal component is this one and acceleration due to gravity acts vertically. So there will be no effect of acceleration due to gravity on this component u cos theta because this is horizontal and acceleration due to gravity is vertical. They are perpendicular to each other. So there will be no effect of acceleration due to gravity on this horizontal component. But on this vertical component u sin theta, there is effect of acceleration due to gravity on that velocity component u sin theta, that is the vertical component. Say total time of flight is small t. Small t is the total time of flight. Okay. Then this velocity does not change. There is no effect of acceleration due to gravity. So this is the constant velocity u cos theta. From A to B, the velocity remains constant. Therefore, we can easily write this range R is equal to u cos theta multiplied by t. Okay, u cos theta multiplied by t. This is the R, range R. And we have already mentioned that at the maximum height here, this velocity component will be 0. So which equation we should use? Which equation we should use to prove to calculate that one? We can use this one. V square is equal to u square plus 2at. Okay. We can use this also. V is equal to u plus at. Here a will be what? G. Here the particle is moving in the upward direction, so we have to use negative sign. Right? So if we want to use this equation, the middle one, V is equal to u plus at, so here V will be replaced by what? At the maximum point, maximum height, this is the final velocity, and we are considering the vertical motion, so therefore this component will be 0. This V will be 0. And u will be what? U will be equal to u sin theta. A will be what? It will be minus g. And t is what? Say t is say t1. Okay. Time required to reach the maximum height is denoted by t1. Suppose time required to reach to the maximum height is t1. Therefore, using this equation, we can say that 0 is equal to u sin theta, okay, minus g, because it is moving in the upward direction. So minus g multiplied by t1. t1 is the time taken by the particle to reach to the maximum height. So from here we are getting t1 is equal to u sin theta by g. Okay. T1 is equal to u sin theta by g. By using this equation also, we can calculate. Acha. So this is what? This is the time taken by the particle to reach to the maximum height. Now, if we want to use this equation, by using this equation, we can calculate total time of flight. By using this equation, we can calculate total time of flight. But we are considering vertical motion, okay? So from A to B, what is the vertical displacement? At A, the displacement is 0. At point P, again displacement is 0. Therefore, net vertical displacement is what? 0 minus 0, that is 0. Okay? From A to B, there is no vertical displacement because the ground is horizontal. Ground is taken to be horizontal. Therefore, there will be no displacement. So, using this equation, we can write 0, means this displacement is 0. U will be what? U will be vertical component, though. So, u sin theta. U sin theta. This t is there, so write t. Okay? And plus sign will be replaced by minus sign because it is going in the upward direction. We are considering point A. With respect to point A, it is going in the upward direction. So minus half, A will be replaced by g and t square is there. T is the total time of flight. So you can see that from here we are getting what? We are getting t is either 0 or 2u sin theta by g. T is either 0 or 2u sin theta by z. So what we have used here? 0 displacement. And both the answers are valid because when the particle was at point A, in that case also displacement was 0 and for that time taken was 0. Okay. And when the particle reaches to the point B, then again displacement is 0 and time taken by the particle to reach to the point B is 2u sin theta by g. So total time of flight is this much. 2u sin theta by g, that is the total time of flight. Right? Then it reaches to the maximum height at time this. u sin theta by g. So from here to here, what is the time taken? Say that time taken is denoted by t2. So t2 is equal to what? T minus t1, right? Because t1 plus t2 will be equal to t. So t2 is equal to t minus t1. So that is equal to what? 2u sin theta by g minus u sin theta by g, which is equal to again u sin theta by g. Okay, u sin theta by g. So both the times are same. From A to maximum height is u sin theta by g, time taken is u sin theta by g, and from maximum height again up to the ground is time taken is again u sin theta by g. So both the times are same, and total time of flight is 2u sin theta by g. 2u sin theta by g. So 2u sin theta by g, now range is equal to what? U cos theta multiplied by t. So we can write here range R is equal to u cos theta multiplied by this 2u sin theta by g. 2u sin theta by g. So here 2 sin theta cos theta is there. Again u into u is there, so u square, and 2 sin theta cos theta is sin 2 theta. So result is u square sin 2 theta by g. So this is the range of the particle. U square sin 2 theta by g, and the range is denoted by capital R. U square sin 2 theta by g is the is the range. Now we need to calculate maximum height. So maximum height, how we will calculate that thing? Maximum height. Which equation we should use to calculate maximum height? Only displacement is present in the first equation. S is equal to ut plus half a d square. So using that equation, we can calculate maximum height. Okay. So maximum height, S will be replaced by h. Okay. H. U will be replaced by what? U will be replaced by u sin theta, and t will be replaced by t1, that is this u sin theta by g. So u is what? U is u sin theta. T is t1, which is equal to u sin theta by g. Okay, and minus half g t square. T square means t1 square. So u square sin square theta by g by g square. U square sin square theta, u square, this one, this expression we have used, u square sin square theta by g square. So what is the result? This g and this 1g is cancelled. So in the denominator what is there? 2g. U square sin square theta is there. Here also u square sin square theta is there. Therefore the result is u square sin square theta by 2g. This is the maximum height. This is the maximum height attained by the particle. Okay. U square sin square theta by 2g, that is the maximum height attained by the particle. This is the time taken by the particle to reach to the maximum height, and this is the 2u sin theta by g. This is total time of flight, and this u square sin 2 theta by g is the range of the particle. Okay, and we can easily say that range will be maximum when, in this expression, if you notice carefully, then you can see that this expression will be maximum when sin 2 theta is maximum, right? When sin 2 theta is maximum, then in that case range will be maximum. For a given velocity, range will be maximum for sin 2 theta if sin 2 theta is maximum. And maximum value of sin 2 theta is what? Maximum value of sin 2 theta is 1. That means when 2 theta is equal to 90 degree. That means when theta is equal to 45 degree. Okay. When theta is equal to 45 degree, in that case range will be maximum. For other angles, range will be less than the maximum value. Okay, range will be less than the maximum value. So this was all about the theory of curvilinear motion is not finished here. Okay, this is actually projectile motion, two-dimensional projectile motion. This is the analysis in class 11 or in first year BTech course or in first year diploma course, diploma engineering course. This theory is there in their syllabus. Okay. Okay. This curvilinear motion part will be continued in the next video lecture. Okay. Thank you.